Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Senator Saab, naval officers, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm going to talk about the prospects of marine aquaculture as an alternate food security chain, which I feel that actually will become the main food security chain for us and very crucial in the coming years. So, can I do it myself? Okay, what I will be discussing today will be what is the current scenario, which is the way forward, and all the aspects regarding aquaculture. This is a very crucial picture that I saw in one magazine. It is, we are fishing for catastrophe. And I will explain later on where it will lead to. But you keep in mind this very crucial picture. As per international, standards that we have seen, the data that the requirement for seafood fisheries is increasing, but the wild catch is decreasing sharply. As per certain studies, we are not sure that in 2030 we will have any wild catch in our oceans. And I'm not talking about just Pakistani oceans; it's globally. And this is the state of affairs at our fishing grounds. We have more fishing fleet than the fishes that we have. There was a detailed study conducted by the government of Pakistan with FAO. One of the most latest fishing vessel, Dr. Fridtjof Nansen, were here twice to conduct a detailed study of our resources. And this study is very, very important, and we'll take the liberty of having Senator Saab here, that when the policies are made at the federal level, this study must be seen at least by somebody, because a few months ago we were discussing this study at a seminar for 3 hours, and when the worthy minister came on board, because according to this study we have to cut down our fishing fleet by 50%. This is crucial because 80% of our stocks have depleted, 80%. And when the worthy minister came on board, he said, we are going to give 3,000 engines to the fishermen in Balochistan, which is a great project that they are doing. So it is totally contrary to what the report says. So if you see our exports data, and this is for the last 6-8 years, but I can continue it for at least 2-3 years behind, we have remained below 500 million US dollars. Our average unit price, as you will see, is always been below $3. That means we are either selling very, very low quality fish, or there is something wrong in our export regime. As you will see, the global average unit price for any exporting country has to be close to $6. India, in the last 7 years, from 1 billion, they have crossed 10 billion US dollars of exports. They are one of the largest suppliers of shrimp to USA, close to 2 billion US dollars. And this they have done in the last 7-8 years. So this is something that we can look up to and achieve. So this is exactly, this is the catastrophe. In one voyage, a fishing vessel brings in 70 to 90 tons of what we call trash fish, and only 3 to 4 tons of human consumable fish. So in one voyage, and what we call trash fish is actually the juveniles of high value fishes. Pomfret, they are being sold at 20 rupees or 30 rupees, while a pomfret fish can fetch close to 2,000 rupees to 3,000 rupees a kg. So we are actually killing our fishing grounds. If you see our net in the boats, even a ball point cannot cross through the cord end. They are so, negligible cord ends. So this is the catastrophe, that we are killing high value protein to feed low value, to gain low value feeding, which is chicken. So we are killing protein to make more chicken for this nation of chicken eaters that we have become. So as you will see, the global demand is increasing phenomenally, but the wild catch is now stagnant. and the gap is being filled by aquaculture. This is what more countries, these are all the products that other countries are farming now, from scallops to mussels to shrimps to fish, different type of fishes, tilapia, pangasus, venomized shrimp, black tiger. So this is how the gap is being filled. According to one survey, and this is an old one, but according to the new FAO reports, the total trade in seafood has crossed $200 billion, while our share in it is 450 million US dollars. So there is a big area where we can move into. See the top exporting countries. India is gradually coming into the top 10. Now it is, I think, fourth largest seafood exporter in the world. Another reason for us is, 1/5 of the population of the world at least rely 20% on fish protein diet, while our per capita consumption is probably, we are last, third, fourth country after Afghanistan or Rwanda and Ethiopia. So our per capita consumption is 1 kg, while a global average is crossed 25 kgs. So we are very low in fish consumption for our diet. So as you will see that, globally for food consumption, seafood is getting the priority. Is the most used for protein is now seafood. So if you see the least, so we are in the last, I think probably the 5th last country in fish consumption. That the reason being that we have been fed the wrong fish all our life. Because our fish that we are eating, carps, mostly in Punjab, rahu, they have so many bones, and we really do not know how to take out bone out of a fish. So when I was CEO of FDB, I introduced 2 new fishes into Pakistan, which is tilapia and pangasus, for the first time. I'll explain later, it did 2 things. The rule of the thumb was that from 1 acre of land, you can get just 400 to 500 kgs of fish. But just by changing the species, by putting in tilapia or pangasus, we raised the production capacity to 4 tons per acre. So it almost, 6 times the production was raised. And the beauty with pangasus and tilapia is that it has only a single bone in the middle, so you just take it out and you have a good fillet to eat. Pakistan at one time was importing close to 40 million US dollar worth of fish from Vietnam, and it has come down since last year. It has come down to $7 million, but now it is close to 4 million US dollars because of high rate of dollar. But it has opened up a new market for the farmers in Pakistan, that there is a 40 million US dollar market that we have to capture by local fisheries. So now more and more companies are coming up into stocking tilapia and pangasus for the local market. Oops. Okay. This is actually shows that it's cheaper to raise fish than other animals. I'm sorry about the statistics about pork, but just international standards that they show that they require more feed than fish. So fish FCR, which is a feed conversion ratio, said how many kilo of fish that, how many kilo of feed that you will give for them to become 1 kg. So for fish, it is around 1.15 kgs of feed that you give to get 1 kilo of fish. But for other animals, it is much higher. So it is always cheaper to raise fish. So the way forward actually is how to save our seas from overfishing. The only way forward is aquaculture. When we say that we have overfished our seas, it is not just us that it has done it. Japan, USA, European Union, everybody has done that. So if we say that the fisherman in UK speaks English, doesn't mean that he's more educated than our fishermen. So the fishermen globally are the same. They have overexploited their seas. And the only way forward now is through aquaculture. Most of the countries rely 90% for their exports and food source through aquaculture. This is from Gharo, Pakistan. This was the first shrimp farm developed by Fisheries Development Board, Government of Pakistan. And I would like to say that one of the crop was taken, and this picture especially was taken from a naval helicopter, because the farm was being run by excellent bunch of naval gentlemen that were working with me, led by a very dynamic person, Shahid Karimullah, the Admiral Shahid Karimullah. And courtesy to them, we got this picture, which I show everywhere as potential and opportunity. Because from 1 hectare, each pond is of 1 hectare. And from 1 hectare, we got 10,000 kgs of shrimp. So it actually fetched us $100,000 a year of crop from 1 hectare. No piece of land can get you this much amount of money out of this land, which is worthless. You cannot do anything, cannot grow anything but shrimp on these areas. So potential and opportunity, vast land is available where we can start such a project. And when we talk about the coastal line, and we talk about data and statistics, we are very confused, but one naval officer told me categorically that our coastal line is 1,001 kilometers. And he proved it with all the studies that he had conducted. So I think for once we should fix it, that our coastal line is for 1,001 kilometers, and not somebody would say 1,100 kilometers, someone would say, 900. When 5 years ago I started speaking on forums, it was 900 kilometers. So it is probably stretching or whatever, but let's stick to one statistics, which was very authoritatively told to me by a naval officer. So this is actually, marine aquaculture is the way forward. We are probably the only coastal country in the world with zero marine aquaculture. So, this is very easy. This is the land that is available for almost free, because nothing grows there. But I've seen that people in Sindh and Balochistan are very reluctant to get out of their cities. They have been bogged down by cities. I don't know the reason being it, but the businessmen also do not want to get out of the city. That's why all industrial areas are coming up within the city. So we need to move out of the city, and marine aquaculture. And I'll just show you the data to tell you that, as I have already explained, that the potential. As I was telling you that from 1 acre, if you put in fish, that will just get you maximum 1 ton through good farming practices, 1 ton of fish, which will be sold at $1 per kg. So, but if you put in the same pond shrimp, you will get 20 tons of shrimp. So you would increase the productivity by 20 times, and the farm gate price of shrimp is $5. And so, according to our data, if we have convert 10,000 hectares of land into shrimp farming, we will get the crop of $1 billion. And already we know that in Punjab and other provinces, especially in Punjab, is more than 200,000 acres of land is already under farming. So if we just change the species to shrimps, and this technology, as though we have scientists here and professors, but we are not a very scientifically oriented society. But we can do adaptive research, like what we did with tilapia and pangasius. We have done the same with shrimp. We have found a shrimp called white shrimp venami, which can survive both in marine water and sweet water. So my company is now developing the first hatchery to develop shrimp acclimatized to any water quality in Pakistan. So just 50 kilometers from here, we are developing the first hatchery where we'll be producing in the mid of this year the shrimp that can be ready to be stocked in any quality of water from 25 ppt to 3 ppt. So we'll be supplying it across Pakistan to all the farmers. So we'll get just by transforming the, like as we did with tilapia and pangasus, from 1 ton, we took them to 6 tons or 4 tons. With shrimp, we are going to take them to 20 tons. And the average harvest that they're going to take is per acre per year. And the harvest, they'll be getting it for, every farmer would be earning $100,000 per acre. And this is phenomenal, and this is not something that I'm speaking out of turn. It is being done in India, it is being done in Vietnam. And when you go to any exhibition in Vietnam, you see the size of diamond that the farmers are wearing. And every year they add a couple of carats to it just to show how successful they have been in their farming practices. So I think that is the way forward. We can transform, and like rightly said, that even though we are an agriculture country, we have to be a marine country. And we have to utilize our resources. We have to be very positive in our policies. Like, we are the only country in the world in which if you have to import fish, you have to go to one ministry. And if you have to export fish, you have to go to the other ministry. So that joke has to be eliminated. And another thing is, everywhere when we go for a meeting, they say, after the 18th Amendment, fisheries was never on the concurrent list. It was always a provincial subject. Research, development, and policy making was a provincial subject, and it still remained that. So the provinces should not hide behind the 18th Amendment. We recently just got it and we are doing it. They need to be proactive. They really need to understand what they want to do and move forward with it. It's high time. We have to save our country, and agriculture and fisheries is the only way that can be survived. Thank you very much.